For like girls and boys, fine mums and dads. This is a vlog that I want everybody to see me record. Sometimes you see an idea in a hostel, don't you, teacher warden? And it's built around this. How to get your unicorn funds with Teacher Famous and Teacher Warden to come to life and becoming rich. So I built that a couple of days ago and put it in the cupboard and went and learned what unicorn funds are. And I saw an idea with that, with following Mrs. Disney's story of how to become rich. And yet I saw a whole idea of Teacher Warden for your March doing to Cadonas and here you get your unicorn funds and here your unicorn day out. Your unicorn fairies day. So you gave me an idea with this, Jake, more than anything. This story here, this progress report. So if I want to point out here is a couple of things. I saw an idea of the unicorn funds. That was the one I want to point out 3 things. That was the first thing. The second thing I want to point out is this, is your grades. So I saw an idea how to advance the grading system with a curriculum box with Teacher Famous, and that box is produced with Jake. I've been using it with Jake all this time, other things that I put in that box for you girls and boys at school. Same with uni students, college students, anybody uses that box for anything. And I saw an idea here with this grades system. So what I thought was, is A+, which is down here, is a beginner story. A++ is intermediate. A++ is advanced. And A4++ is elite. Oh, and you like that. Beginner, intermediate, advanced, elite. And how to mark you like a beginner at something. So maybe you've started a beginner dance class. So you're a beginner, right? Maybe you've become an intermediate fitness player. So now you're in intermediate level. Maybe you've become an advanced circus performer. So you've bred into the advanced category. And maybe you've got to be not good as what I am at a chat show. And now you're an elite. You're elite at something in the sport world. Maybe you're elite at like fire twirling, for example. So you become like an elite fire twirler. And that will help all the grading systems to help folk progress. So as I've snipped it, come with this guy, snip, and goes into everybody's systems. And that will help you advance in everything. I've just went for everything and anything. Maybe I'll become a better dancer, a better player in the field. Maybe I'll become a better swimmer. Maybe I'll become better at mucking a business. Maybe I'll become better at job hunting. There'll be so many things that'll come out of that. Maybe I'll become a better comedian. Maybe I'll get better at making business plans. I'll be there all day with different things that'll come out of that. So that was the second thing I want to promote. And the third thing I want to promote is something I saw earlier. So I bought a roll of fog and I looked out the window and I saw this paparazzi officer, Zip Boy, was you, Adam. I think you were funny. Trying to get a story about a fog. So I had an idea. How to bring the paparazzi to life in somebody's life in Hollywood. So what are you going for, you ball? You Famous. How to bring the press to life with Famous. So I just went, snip. There you go. There's my story. With the paparazzi, with the press. So I've now snipped the press into my whole entire life with my magic scythe. And that's going to cause some kind of story. Maybe like better journals or articles or better magazine deals. You're right, I'll eventually build magazine deals at some point, and I'm ready for that for the day onwards, to be in the magazines. So I'm ready to activate being in the magazines, to see the royalties appear, my star. I've notified the people that deal with your royalties and how do I get that and bring that to life. I now cannot get a story, something I saw on the bobbin yesterday about reeling in the press for a story. So I now see how I get that right. I feel I've got all the answers I need. I've got all the puzzles and shoots and demands by weapon and chat shows and everything. So that's I've got one big story press. You were getting stories anyway about things like health and hubs and all that. But this is now stories about Famous, if it's Famous update. So be ready to start seeing them write about Famous. You have wrote about Famous a little bit. You've wrote about Chardonnay. They'll probably start writing about quite a few of that names. They'll probably start with Famous. They might write about Chardonnay a little bit, but they'll probably wait for partying to do that. Really big partying. I would wait for the partying to do the Chardonnay story. I would certainly do a story of Auntie Fairy or the Grim or the Devil, and I would certainly do some with the Devil more than anything if you could. It's quite soon. You'll probably get a big story. Think of Devil's Dungeons. That's how I really am about writing about the devil. I would think of Simon Cowell's world and putting on a show with Simon Cowell, patent to Simon Cowell, Devil's Dungeons. And I saw an idea of the contestants that go on that show and how you mark that show, Simon Cowell, and how you get that right and how you would pull that off. And you're welcome to join in with all my dungeon shows. I do every lifetime, Devil's Dungeons with Black Magic, with Gangster Mermaids. So I bought the cape. 2 of these fuckers, Simon Cowell. So I bought my Devil's Dungeons cape years ago. I came out and market a sparkle cape. I kind of would build that into a show, and I think a bit of Athen in there, a bit of pole dancing, a bit of fire twirling, there a bit of disco dancing, a bit of everything, and that's what I do in every lifetime, a bit of everything. And I hear like guest performers that come on stage. I'll probably mind you like Miss Pole Scotland, if Abby goes on stage and performs, it'll mind you something like that. Sometimes I hear judges, sometimes I run a competition, a Devil's Dungeons competition, and then you can enter into my competition. I'm not quite ready to do that just yet, but maybe in the next year or so I'll be ready to look into what that would be. But I certainly would promote that for later on. I knew folk would like the sound of that, a competition. It'll be later on, but you'll probably get some ideas with that. If you would want to enter into Devil's Dungeons competition, it happens every lifetime. Folk enter into the competition. And I'll probably mind you Miss Pole Scotland that more than anything. But you're right, a show might mind you something like Inverted, but maybe a bit bigger than Soul Pole. And so if anybody comes along and watch the show, I'll certainly record it, and I'll certainly look into putting it onto DVD, and that way folk can watch it in their house. So this is some of the kind of ideas I hear in a pole class, girls and boys, mums and dads. I see some and I think, oh yeah, later on when I'm off to Hollywood, yeah, you could turn that Gangster Mermaid show into something. You could take that gooey routine and you could record that, and you could put that on DVD. And these are some of the kind of ideas that I come up with in class and think, oh yeah, you could do some of that. Yeah, or you could have your own competition, or you could do some of Mrs. Disney where Hall of Fame competition, and how to get folk reeled in when we're going to a competition. And there's so many different competitions you can take part of. It's not just about dance, or competitions in every sport domain. If you're ever interested in a competition or you want to go into competing in something, ABCRD send a message to Grimm's Welcomist channel and let me go look into what that is. Let me help you find a sponsor or anything like that. So that's an idea of some things that you'll report press. There'll probably be some interesting stuff in there. Maybe things that'll happen like Gun on Holiday, maybe things like Christmas, or the Wilson Girls, maybe something with Mucking a Dance Show with an Adam, maybe there'll be something about comedians, there'll be all sorts of ideas, I'll come up with that. So that's now activated. So come to Street Press, I'll give you a table, or come to the music hall, come and get a story, and let's bring that to life and see if what kind of stories will come to life in the magazines and newspapers. So eventually they'll start reporting things out of Famous's life in the newspapers, and they'll start reporting things that I'm getting up to, like shows and things that I'm promoting about Hollywood and things like tarots and chart shows. So that gives you an idea of some of the kind of things that will come out of that. I thought I'll give you one big heads up, especially people that are really close to this house that come in and out of here, and that gives you a big heads up about what to expect. So that's now activated. That's your story with Teacher Warden. I hope you like the idea of the unicorn funds. That'll be a lot of fun. Grab your wads of money, chuck in a £20 note, and let's go go-karting. So that's your story for that with the unicorn funds and the teachers. Now you've got a story in the box, the Teacher Famous box, so you can follow whatever that is. So sit back, enjoy all your press releases, and let's get to work on mucking a show. And else what to work on, ABCRD, send a message to Grimm's Vlogmas channel and grab a bar on the way out, and keep in touch with the tarot. Adios.